The following episode of the Maui Chamber of Commerce's Business Matters was originally broadcast on August 20th, 2024.
It's time now for Business Matters, brought to you by the Maui Chamber of Commerce. And now, here's your host, the president of the Maui Chamber of Commerce, Pam Toonpop. Good morning, Pam. How are you doing today, Pam?
Hey, good morning, Gary. I am wonderful. How about you?
I am doing wonderful. It's another muggy day down here.
Oh, well, it's actually lovely in Pukalani this morning, but boy, it's sure been hot lately, but
Yes.
not today, or not yet, I guess I should say. Still early. Well, thank you for all that you do for the show. Welcome, everybody, to Business Matters, brought to you by the Maui Chamber of Commerce. I'm always pleased to be your host. And we are going to have a fun day today. We are going to talk with Representative Justin Woodson about, he represents State of Hawaii District 9, and we're going to talk about, this where we're at. He's, in this re-election, but, he is working hard on moving things forward, and we're going to get to share a little bit about what he's been doing with the efforts of the state legislature on education. And I do need to note that, even he's up for re-election, but did not have a challenger. But because this is the political season, we are having him on the show and making an in-kind contribution towards his campaign from the Chamber of Commerce's Political Action Committee of $175, which we are required to share with the public because that's important news as we're in an election season and need to share our support for different efforts. And then we're going to talk to Phyllis Freitas, the Director of Business Sales at Hawaiian Telcom, and Phyllis and I go way back. So it's nice to get to connect with a longtime friend. But we're going to begin this morning with Justin Woodson. So let me tell you a little bit about him. Representative Justin Woodson has served in the Hawaii State Legislature since 2013 for Central Maui. He chairs the House Committee on Education and has served in various leadership roles in the state legislature over the years. Amongst other topics, Representative Woodson leads the House in issues relating to education in Hawaii. Oftentimes, he collaborates with his peers from across the nation and has helped in bipartisan efforts to craft public policy pieces, including in 2023 with Representative Leo Jones of Montana and the CEO of the National Center on Education and the Economy, Vicki Phillips, an article published in The Hill titled "The Future U.S. Economy Depends on a New Bipartisan Agenda." So he has been very involved in education and is a former small business owner. So good morning, Justin. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Pam. How are you? It's good to be here with you today.
Wonderful. So glad to have you on the show. I know last session was a crazy busy session with so many important news coming after the wildfires and other things going on like Red Hill and other issues that needed to be tackled statewide.
Absolutely. We had a lot of challenges for myself. I was mostly involved, of course, in Maui recovery and education issues. And so we made a lot of progress, but we still have quite a ways to go on all the issues that are facing our great state of Hawaii.
Yeah, that's very true. And you really have been on the forefront of education. Can you... I love this point that we're going to talk about because so many times we talk about where the state of education is now. But what we need to be thinking about is what is a world-class education? And why is a world-class education so important for our young people today? Can you talk about what that system would look like?
Sure, I would love to. And I should first start off by saying that Hawaii has a very strong education system. They're on their way. We are on our way to becoming a world-class system, as is defined by the characteristics. But the important aspect is that you actually need all of the elements of a world-class system working together. And so I'll just briefly go into one of those characteristics. As you can imagine, the primary factor in a functioning and highly effective education system is the teacher. You need licensed, qualified, well-prepared, well-supported educators in each and every single classroom. And so while Hawaii is working on that aspect, you also need internationally rigorous material and benchmark standards. So as an example, if you have a highly qualified teacher teaching a fifth grade classroom, but the material that's being taught there is of a fifth grade level, then you can see quickly how that's not going to be very effective. Just to drive home the point. But I want to speak about one other aspect of a highly functioning educational system, because we are on Business Matters. And so that element is that highly effective education systems, they actually work with business, they work with community, and they see what the community need is, and then they backtrack and tie that need, industrial need, to formalized curricula. And so as an articulated example, this year the legislature passed a bill called Glide Path. It was authored by Representative Nidi Nakamura from Kauai Island. If you've heard that name recently, it's because that Majority Leader Nakamura is being considered for the next Speaker of the House, and I imagine that she is going to earn that title. And that's because, of course, our current Speaker of the House, Scott Saiki, was defeated in this primary. And so 1827, which is now Act 89, which was signed into law by the governor, we refer to it as Glide Path. And what the proposal does is it helps students earn certification and higher education in the healthcare industry. So for Maui in particular, what is a community need? What does the industry need? Well, we need desperately more healthcare workers. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more CNAs. We need more APRNs. And this explained to me that the brunt of the work in our particular system, that defined as Maui system, is done by these CNA professional certified nurse assistants. But because we lack a healthy supply of these CNAs, what we have to do to compensate is that we actually reach out to the continent, we reach out to Oahu, and we hire what's called traveling nurses. So traveling nurses come over to Maui, and they assume that role. Now, the issue with that is that, number one, of course, they're not from here, but that's okay. Oftentimes they become a part of the community, but we have to pay them higher than market rate because we have to attract them to come. We have to pay for their travel over, we have to pay for their lodging, so that triples the cost. In any business operations, you know that the highest cost, of course, is labor. So that cost is not absorbed by the insurance companies or the hospital. It's absorbed by us, the consumer, by us, the community. And so that's a problem. The thing I love about education, and particularly focusing on public education, is it has nexus to all facets of our society. It has nexus to community. And how this bill is helpful to not only the individual, the family, and the community, it also helps theoretically lower our healthcare costs, because this proposal appropriates $750,000 that goes directly to DOE public high schools for students that are interested in going into the healthcare industry. So if they are either in like a academy, a healthcare academy, or a healthcare educational pathway, they work with partners like the Healthcare Association of Hawaii, local partners like Kalemokoa, other local partners like R3, and they are supported to receive what's called a healthcare workforce certification. That, in essence, allows them to be a CNA. So they're now CNAs. They earn that certification while they're finishing their high school diplomas. They go out of high school. They can make $23 around there an hour. They're better be able to support themselves and their families. And then they ascend. They can glide past to higher credentialing, like licensed practical nurses, LPNs, and earned even more money, like $35 an hour approximately. And so it's a way to uplift our communities and simultaneously help theoretically bring down healthcare costs.
I think it's tremendous. I mean, it really is tremendous. And to, get more of these programs in at the high school level, so the students are coming out of high school with tremendous experience, and as you say, starting out above the minimum wage, and then having a career path that they can clearly see and see ways to. They've already made the first step with that investment at a time when they were in high school, and moving on to the next level of LPN. I imagine it just seems so much more achievable this way, and they can see that path and start earning money quickly.
Absolutely. It really is uplifting, just the whole process, the connection between the schools. In this case, it's Maui High School that's working with the University of Hawaii Maui College, is working with the Healthcare Association. She was working with Hale Makua Kahalui, all working together to uplift our community members so they can support themselves and their families better, and at the same time help us bring down our healthcare costs. That helps address a societal need. And so this is what is important about public education. It has a multiplier impact and effect on our society and all of our communities.
Absolutely. And I've talked to a lot of the nurses that we've brought in. And, they're amazing nurses, but also the challenge with that is they rotate. They're coming here temporarily, and many of them stay for, a number of years. But ultimately, they came with the expectation of going back home at some point, or traveling to a different location, or what have you. So it's a constant wheel that we're always trying to feed.
That's right. It's a salient point, and I appreciate the efforts of the Department of Education and others to help us to fill this puka, because again, it's a much needed puka to be filled for our particular community, especially for Maui and Maui County.
Yeah, this is tremendous. Well, we shared just briefly. My heart goes out to Speaker Psyche, who was a tremendous leader and a valiant leader who was not somebody looking for a pat on the back, but just served because that was the kind of man he was. I greatly admired and respected him, and I'm sorry for that loss. But I'm glad that the team is working on another leader who, looking for leadership in the House that's going to serve in that same vein. So I'll be excited to hear how that all comes about, but I'm glad to know that she's in the running, because she seems to have that gift as well.
Absolutely. A lot of us were shocked by that result. I mean, but it's democracy, and the community there spoke, and that's who they chose. Unfortunately, there was some misinformation. The challenger will not come in to be Speaker of the House. That's not how it actually works. For all of our leadership positions, including, the chairmanships, that has to be voted on by the members. Until every other year, we have a new slate. Some of us are fortunate enough to stay. Others are new because they were defeated. And then amongst the elected officials, we vote on who has the various positions, including the Speaker of the House. And so that's how that process works. And everyone, if they want to be Speaker of the House, they have to earn it. Nadine is currently the majority leader, and we all respect and trust her leadership. She is solution-oriented. She can absorb a lot of information and process and spit out potential options for how we can address these issues, we think that we'll be in good hands with Majority Leader Nakamura if she is able to earn that speakership, which I think she will be able to.
Well, we look forward to that, and just as having somebody of her caliber who can move into a position like that and be ready to move forward with the big challenges we face is really important. And I think, as you point out, there was a lot of misinformation about his challenger, and people just thinking she would be automatic for speaker. And people don't understand that, as you say, first of all, it's a process. You have to earn it. You have to work your way up and show your kind of leadership and demonstrate that with your colleagues for years to get into that position. And be able to build relationships and partnerships and working with your colleagues. So many people think that just winning is the point, but not just winning is the point. Getting important legislation passed is the point. And doing that work takes a lot of collaboration, which you've been very successful at. And I'm glad to know that, also she has as well. And so that we have that to look forward to. So we'll be watching. We'll be watching and hoping that moves forward. I know, of course, Senate President Kochi is very proud of the work she's been doing as well on Kauai. So, we have a lot to look forward to. But in this election,
and let me just say, if I may, really fast, I don't want to press upon anyone that we have any preconceived notions. Myself and others, we will welcome the representative-elect with open arms, and we'll see how things work out. I think that you should approach every single situation with an open slate, a clean slate. We'll see how she collaborates and works with us, and then go from there. But we respect the community's decision, which was to not reelect Speaker Psyche, and we'll just move forward. It's a part of the process, and hopefully, the goal, as you clearly mentioned, is to move the state forward, to work together to deliver for all of our communities, and that's what's ultimately the most important.
Absolutely, and absolutely, and I really appreciate the sentiments on that too. As again, I think it's really important. Again, it is a democracy, and when people come in, and I know there's a lot of training too. When new legislators come in, there's a lot of training, and they'll learn a little bit more. They're coming in about the process. I always wish that when people were running for office, there was more education they were required to take. Because it's interesting as I talk to people who are thinking about running for office, they have so many misconceptions about, how quickly they might be able to ascend to different positions, or how quickly they think they can move forward with bills, not understanding the process for introducing a bill and getting support for the bill, and how much, the different layers of getting a bill through the process and crossover and maybe even ultimately through Conference Committee. So much is unknown as people are working through, running for office at times. And I'm really hoping as, the different parties really work to educate people more on the process. So as they're running, they better understand. And they can, and it's important to educate our community on the process as well. So as voters, they can understand what it takes and be looking at and asking the right questions of candidates to see how well, what their experience is in collaborating. Because it's far more than a 9-member county council body that you need to work with. It's a large body of people that you need to be working with and collaborating with.
Absolutely, Pam. That's a great point again, and it's about collaboration. My first year, my first exposure, I should say, to legislature was with Melly Carroll, the late great Melly Carroll, who represented Molokai. And that was her first year and my first year as a staffer. And that first section, I tell you, it's very much, even for, support the staff, it's like drinking through a fire hose, as they describe it. It's a lot of information. It's a plethora of information. And it's just trying to understand, the process, the terminology, the rhythm, the timing, the deadlines of the legislative calendar. And that in itself, you can't really master in 1 year or even 2 years. It takes time. And then, of course, you have to overlay the personalities, the political calculus, and the ever-changing dynamics that happen depending upon the bill or the timing to really get resources back to your community and to pass bills. And so it's completely different skill sets, I should say, from actually running for office. Campaigning is different from legislating. And so it does take some time. And I concur, there should be some sort of process set up for people to be educated that are interested in public office, state public office. And yeah, as you said, we have 76 members total, 51 in the House, 25 in the Senate, that we have to collaborate with. And then, it's a battle of ideas. And then ultimately you try to collaborate with like-minded individuals, and you try to push through policy and resource for not only your community, but also for the betterment of the state.
Yes. Yes, it's really a calling. And so for those listening, if you're thinking of running for office, learn more, talk to legislators, understand what they go through. Justin is running unopposed this year, so we're grateful that he gets to continue to serve, and we're very excited with the work you've been doing. Is there other bills that you want to share with us from this past session?
I think it's important to mention, we just continue with our expansion of high-quality early learning opportunities, which is another element of world-class or very strong public school systems. Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke is helping spearhead that. We are up to 405 pre-kindergarten classrooms. That's important because it helps students or young students prepare cognitively and socially as they enter into kindergarten. So readiness to enter into kindergarten is really the aspect of the element of high-performing systems that you always see. And we, through the budget process, were able to appropriate some funds to continue that growth. And of course, high-quality early learning opportunities doesn't just mean public sector preschools. If you as a family decide that you want to go to a Hawaiian or another high-quality setting, then we have like a subsidy that follows the family that allows you to do that. So it's about allowing families to choose what type of educational setting is best for their 3 or 4-year-old, so they can be prepared to enter into kindergarten and succeed ultimately in life. And so that's also a proposal which was incorporated to the budget that we worked on, we continue to work on. And our goal, again, is to get to 100% capacity, defined as those families that want to take advantage of the opportunity. It's up to the family, then they are able to do so. So excited about that work that continues, and we look forward to reaching our goal here in the near future.
Well, I've been so impressed by the work that has been done by the Lieutenant Governor, who made this a top priority, and the legislature, and excited to hear just the leaps and bounds of getting, 405 and growing, of the early education programs going. But I really appreciate the family choice option. I know that's always a struggle as parents work through and think through their child's education. So I love that you've also come up with the family subsidy option for those who have the preschool ideas, but still want to make sure that their children get that great early start. That's phenomenal.
Yes, we felt that's important. And the other aspect of that growth is that it's been identified that for middle-class families, the second highest cost driver is daycare or preschool.
Yeah.
So this is a way to help alleviate some of that financial pressure off our families, so that, again, all of our families are able to succeed. It's another example of how education has nexus with community and society, and helping uplift everyone together.
Yeah. It's really such an important program, and I'm so thrilled to see it happen. And of course, I wish it happened earlier. It would have saved me a ton of money with my children. But but moving forward, we're very grateful.
You and me both.
Also, I know there was recently announced cancellation of bus routes. Can you talk to us? I know that's top of mind for a number of people. Can you share a little bit more on what's occurring there?
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, the Department of Education announced to the state that there was going to be, I think it was 113 bus routes that were going to be temporarily discontinued. And so, of course, that was a shock because it wasn't the first year or even the second year that this has happened. This is now, a well-established trend that's concerning. And more importantly, and it was further exacerbated by the fact that, we were told, we defined as the state was told, like 3 days, like the Thursday before school was going to start on that Monday and Tuesday for some. So that was a problem. And then on Saturday, right before school started, us here in Maui, we were told that there's going to be additional cancellations. So we were also impacted by that. And the challenge of that, of course, is, although we appreciate the work that our high-level administrators do at the Department of Education, we expect more notice because families were struggling to try to figure out how to get their kids to school. There's reports from Puna on Hawaii Island, those that have to travel far distances, they had no options. And so basically they had to choose between not going to work and supporting themselves or their families or their kids staying home. So that's not good options. Right. And so we just expect more. Last Thursday, the Committee on Education held a informational briefing. The superintendent was present. The deputy superintendent, Randy Moore, who's intimately involved in this, was there, and other the lead administrator for our bus transportation services was also present and available to answer questions. And we asked, these very pointed questions as it relates to, why was there not more notice done? How did the department go about choosing the various providers to fulfill these obligations? And how can we do better in the future? So it should be known that for our state, which we have a singular school system, we only have one Department of Education. We as a state and a department do not directly run our bus service. We actually contract that out to providers. And so there are some providers across the state that do it for us, and the legislature appropriates funds to the Department of Education to fulfill that role. So in essence, there was a challenge with that, and we're working through it now.
So it wasn't like there were worker shortages or issues like that. It's just more of getting the contracts out, getting the schedules right, and making sure that the teams who are doing that contracted work have enough employees and enough drivers and vehicles. And
well, it was, in fact, there is a what's referred to as a CDL, which in essence is a licensed bus driver, school bus driver. There are those shortages. That challenges continues to persist. The contracts were issued. The challenge more so with the contract is that the way they were scored or scaled, that's in essence how the department chose which provider to award the contracts to. And, we know that for one particular provider, they, as an example, were issued a 100% in terms of their operational capacity when that was the sole provider that was not able to fulfill their contractual obligations. And now we're in the challenges that we are trying to address here today.
Yeah, that helps to know. I will say, too, this is off the cuff, but I do know that some of our tour companies who have CDL drivers. And for anybody listening, if a CDL driver makes good money, so if you're looking for a new career, you might want to look into getting your CDL license, because there are many people looking for CDL drivers. But some of our transportation companies, some of the tour companies and others, might be backup resources to help out, because I know some of their loads are low, and at times they haven't been able to keep some of their people driving for them because they don't have the same tour schedule they once had. So if there's any way we can help make connections, please let me know. But glad to hear that that's on track. And just want to thank you for joining the show this morning. It's always a joy to get to talk to you, Justin. I always love learning the things that you're involved in, and deeply appreciate your commitment to our community and improving our education and getting us to that world-class education system and improving systems here. So not only are we giving our children a world-class education, but we're creating economic opportunities and pathways for them to take advantage of and get to a living wage where they can continue to stay in Hawaii. You do tremendous work, and it's always a great joy to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pam. It's always a pleasure. And I want to also thank my community for allowing me to serve another 2 years. I do not at all take it lightly, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity to serve you as well. So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day. Aloha.
You as well.
Thank you. All right. Well, as Gary contacts our next speaker, I just want to share a couple quick notes with all of you. We have the Mayor Small Business Awards that are coming up in September. And we had a few people who said, gosh, we're trying to work on these awards, but we're running short of time. It's been a crazy year for all of us. So we extended the application deadline for nominations for the Small Business Awards. So it's the 20th now. You have 3 days. We've extended the deadline to August 23rd. This is your opportunity to, nominate an outstanding entrepreneur, somebody for the Lifetime Achievement Award. How many businesses do we know that have been in business over 20 years that could be nominated for the Lifetime Achievement Award? To nominate small businesses who are 10 or fewer employees, those who are 11 to 39 employees, and those that are 40 and over up to 100 employees. This is a great way to nominate amazing small businesses, and also an outstanding nonprofit who has been, how many of our nonprofits have been doing tremendous services? They do so every year, but particularly during the wildfires, they've been tapped to do so much more. So this is a great way to get involved. All nominators are also recognized in addition to all nominees, because this is sort of our Academy Award for Maui small businesses, and not just Maui, Maui County. So you can nominate small businesses from Maui, Molokai, and Lanai. And this is a way to recognize their tremendous efforts and service to our community and to celebrate them. So you can be of great service. Businesses cannot nominate themselves, but employees can nominate them, their vendors, their friends, anybody who is a customer that just thinks, hey, this business needs to be recognized. We so appreciate their work. You still have time. So please make sure that you take advantage of that. And also, we are sold out for our business after hours this week, but we do have coming up on September 27th our annual labor law seminar. This is important it's cost-effective training for business owners, HR professionals, and any top managers, that you're going to learn how to avoid risk, avoid liability, protect your employees and your organization by staying up to date on ever-changing labor laws that change every legislative session and personnel issues. So it's important to know what you're doing when you're managing in those roles and to protect your employees and the organization. So if you're interested in learning more about what the labor law seminar and training provides, just go to mauichamber.com and you can find more information there. Gary, do we have Phyllis on?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. Well, Phyllis, before I have you come on, I want to share a little bit about you. Phyllis is the Director of Business Sales at Hawaiian Telcom, with responsibilities overseeing corporate accounts and major accounts. She's been with the organization for 46 years. So she has 46 years of telecommunications experience with the company and has an extensive career in consultative and strategic account management and sales. She joined Hawaiian Telcom, then GTE Hawaiian Tel, in 1978 as an operator in Hilo before moving to her first sales position in Kona at the Kona Phone Mart in 1983. In 1989, Phyllis transitioned to Honolulu to join the small business sales team, where she found her passion in sales and sales management. Her high self-motivation, enthusiasm, and passion for success is demonstrated through her many years of achieving top sales awards. In 1992, she was promoted to a corporate account manager in both the government and commercial accounts. And she was promoted to senior sales manager in 2006, where she led her team to deliver strategies of network technology services, and then was promoted to director of business sales in January of 2017. She's a graduate of St. Joseph High School in Hilo and has a Bachelor of Arts degree in Business Administration and a Master's degree in Business Administration from Chaminade University. She is also a 2018 graduate of the Patsy Team Bank Leadership Alliance and currently serves as chairman of the board of directors for the Hawaiian Telcom Good Government Club. And she serves on the Patsy Team Inc. Leadership Center Advisory Board and the Hawaii Theater Board. This is a dynamic woman who clearly is very involved in her community and on a state level, and a longtime friend. Good morning, Phyllis. How are you?
Aloha. Good morning, Pam. It's so wonderful to be with you. I am great. Yourself. It is wonderful to reconnect with you.
I know. It's always such a joy, and it's sadly too far of time passes in between.
That's correct. But when we do reconnect, it's like just old times, right? Because it's been many years.
Like we never missed the beat. Yeah,
that's right.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you on. You have been doing such amazing work at Hawaiian Telcom over the years. Tell us a little bit about the journey through the company.
For myself, so Pam, thank you, first of all. We're very proud to be a member of the Maui Chamber, and thank you for everything you do for the Maui community and for the Chamber. I always admire what you've done and what you personally do. But at Hawaiian Telcom, we're definitely proud of being in the community and being a company that supports the community. And for myself, I definitely have seen the company grow from the telecommunications company to a leader in technology in Hawaii. Last year in 2023, on my 45th anniversary, we celebrated our 140th anniversary here in Hawaii. King Kalakaua chartered us in 1883. And look at the journey of where we've come, and basically now we're just providing, a future-proof network so customers can definitely get higher bandwidth, higher speeds. What we're most proud of today is basically that we've spent over $1 billion since 2010 to expand the fiber network to support our customers. This investment in the state of Hawaii allows to help the digital divide and to increase digital equity throughout the state. And since we're with here on your Maui customers, we're proud that the islands of Lanai and Molokai, are definitely, and Maui. So on Lanai, we're enabled 100% fiber. On Molokai, we're just about finishing up the 100% fiber infrastructure. And on Maui, as we continue to help you folks grow and after the wildfires and as you expand, we're nearly halfway of Maui to putting in fiber throughout the island. And definitely we're expanding out in Paia, Paiku, Kula, Wailuku, and Kihei.
It's really tremendous. You folks have been moving at such a swift pace to get this all done. I mean, I'm so proud of the company to see all the things that they're doing during this time when connectivity is paramount.
And absolutely, definitely, and we know that it even was more important for the days when we all went virtual, right? And that's what fiber is going to do, that it allows the local businesses to be, connected in the state. The facilities, allows them to, through the video conferencing and everything that we had to do when we all went home to work, helping with Zooms and Teams. The fast internet is crucial, right, for businesses to run their business, right? And so we want to be the partner of choice where we can help them. We can help businesses to run their business more effectively and efficiently.
And you've branded your network differently. Tell us about Bioptics and why you branded it your internet service that way.
That's correct. We branded it, it's fiber internet, right, and faster speeds. And our business Bioptics internet is definitely, hands down like the best choice for internet service. And so, fiber technology transmits like lightweight speeds, faster and reliable. And it's, less susceptible to the elements, the rain, and it's the impact of metallic-based cables, right? Fiber is greener, and in today, everything, we all have to focus on green where it takes less energy. So we have, branded our faster fiber, Optics, and you will even see the branding throughout Maui. We branded our fleet, and you will see it, on our fleet out there, the Telcom trucks and cars with Bioptics. And just to show that, we have this faster speed that's, reliable and a solution for businesses and consumers, right? And consumers, the residents, we had great news last week. And actually on August 5th, we announced that we've expanded because of the fiber infrastructure and because of what we've done to expand the network with fiber, that now the neighbor islands, and Maui has a choice for TV services, right?
Which you guys have been working on for a while, and I was so excited to hear that you got that going now.
That's correct. So consumers can understand the distinction of, what our Bioptics does. And so, yes, TV is an option for the Maui consumers to have as their homes. As long as the residence is fiber enabled, as I say, and we continue to build out the infrastructure and get everyone fiber enabled. As of today, whoever is fiber enabled can have Hawaiian Telcom TV. So it's our new Bioptics plus TV, which combines like live TV with streaming applications so you can subscribe to one platform. Super proud of that, and it's super exciting, for the neighbor islands and especially for you folks in Maui.
Yeah, I think that that's tremendous, and I'm excited as you roll that out. It's been something that we've seen as a vision for the company, and to know that it's happening now and it's happening right at the perfect time. I mean, you're getting to that 100%, and it'll also will it be available on Molokai as well? You mentioned
yes. So it's your whole we've had it in Oahu, in Honolulu, but on August 5th we announced it to the neighbor islands. So yes, every neighbor island, Molokai and Lanai, obviously the island of Hawaii, and there in Maui. So that's an exciting expansion in our technology services, as we continue to expand the technology services for our businesses also. So as we speak, we've always had, I have an on-island sales rep there, Joseph Phillips, who is there full-time. and on island. And this week, as we speak, we have, as our technology has grown, and we have a sales team that's there walking door to door to introduce our new products and services, to talk about the fiber optics, to talk about faster fiber speeds for businesses, to include, everyone wants faster internet, right? Everybody is looking for some voice, sometime the voice it's over the IP, over the internet, if you will. And most importantly today is cybersecurity, right? I mean, small, medium businesses out there, sometimes don't have the resources to help them become cyber ready, cyber protected, right? So we have a new service called Secure Network, which allows the customers to have an enterprise-grade solution that shields businesses, especially the small, medium businesses, from cyber threats and delivers superior network performance. So this is to include our fiber optics, to include security, to include Wi-Fi security for our businesses. So that's the exciting news on the business side too.
And so many businesses are doing it through different software programs. They're doing annual subscriptions to different security programs, but they're not hitting that same level that this industry-wide product that you've got available now can deliver.
That's correct. 71% of the ransom attacks out there are small businesses because they're just easier, they're just more vulnerable, right? So with our new secure network, it gives them an enterprise-grade type of security for the small business cost price, if you will.
Yeah, very exciting. And I really encourage people to look into that because of late, and this has been going on for, I worked in high tech at the tech park for many, many years.
Right.
So it's not new, but we keep hearing more and more cyber attacks, and we keep hearing how they're hitting, small businesses and also big corporations and challenges. I mean, over the years, many of us have gotten a notice from somebody who had procured systems that it was taken down and our information might be compromised. So these are important things to watch out for, and to know that this is all being bundled by Hawaiian Telcom is a great service, and it makes it much more affordable for you and your business to take advantage of. So you've got Joseph Phillip, who's here on Maui.
Yes,
thank you. And he's here and ready to connect with people.
Yes. So, any of the information that we speak about, you can always find it on our site at hawaiiantel.com, on our Instagram page, our Facebook page, definitely out there in the social media. Joseph is right there, and he would have been able to join us today, and he had a family emergency. So, Pam, I was thrilled to be with you this morning, that's for sure. And, Joseph can be reached at, his number is 808-242-5189, or joseph.phillip at hawaiiantel.com. Also myself, if anybody needs to reach out for any more questions. But all the information that we share on our secure network, our fiber optics, even voice, and we happy to bundle a technology solution for the small businesses, to help them, again, to focus on their business and let us help them run their business more smoothly. So it is great news of how we're expanding, the fiber, TV in the community, but we're just so pleased to be in the community and being my 46 years with Hawaiian Telcom, that I'm just so proud of how we focus on the community and give back to the community. Our company definitely is generous to nonprofits. We recently donated like $17,000 to the Hui Nohe'au Visual Arts Center, there right on Maui.
And nice.
And
they do great work.
Yep. And on September 20th, we have our annual day in the community where we ask our 1,100 employees to really give back into the community. And on Maui, we'll be cleaning up at the Kanaha Beach. And, we're very proud that, through the wildfires last year, our, Bell Charitable Foundation donated $3 million to the Hawaii Community Foundation, to the Hawaii Strong Fund, the Maui Strong Fund, to support the residents there, right?
That is important. Thank you for that, for the very, very generous contributions. That every bit counts, and so many of our businesses too, and community known that this is a long haul effort, and we've seen so many other disasters happening across the nation that is taking up attention and time and FEMA's time and the FBA's time as well. So we appreciate very generous contributions like that were meant to last for a number of years and really help out, make sure funds were going to be available for the long haul is really important.
And our employees love it, right?
Oh, go ahead. Phyllis, I'm sorry.
No, our employees, we have a program called Malama Hours, which we give employees 40 hours a year for them to do community, to volunteer in the community. And as part of our values in the company, we try to drive values for the employees to give back and, respect one another, making sure that we're investing in our future for the employees, and then doing the right thing and giving back to the community is such the right thing. So 40 hours, per year, and many employees do that, and it's done obviously to the kindness of their heart. And as a Hawaiian Telcom employee, they're even prouder to do it for the community.
And that's really been, I know, for many years. That program's a very long-standing program.
Yes. And
yeah.
1 minute, Pam.
Thank you, Gary, for it goes so quickly here on Business Matters, and we could go on, Phyllis and I could go on forever, but I do want to say that Hawaiian Telcom also is helping people learn how to maximize these the fiber optics with new technologies, and can help you and your business learn more about different programs and how they can be enhanced with their system so that you can have more effective customer service. So I want to thank Phyllis for being on this morning. Phyllis, I wish you a beautiful week and day today, and I want to encourage everybody, reach out and connect with Hawaiian Telcom and learn more about their tremendous services. And if you're not sure if they're in your area, find out. And we have so much more we could have talked about, but we have just run out of time, so we'll ask Phyllis to come on again. But really want to thank you all for joining us. Remember, you can also tune in if you want to reconnect with some of the things you heard today. We're also rebroadcast on Friday.